Okay, so, Kirby. With Kirby and the Forgotten Land having been released nearly 1 year ago, I have to ask, what's next for 3D Kirby? Will we get another 3D Kirby game, or will Kirby go back to being stuck in 2D? Alrighty, so another 3D Kirby game is basically confirmed. In an interview on Nintendo's series Ask the Developer, 4 of the developers that worked on Kirby and the Forgotten Land were interviewed, and while there were heaps of interesting things that were said, the key thing in regards to the future of 3D Kirby games was said by
K. Nanomiya.
And he said, "This title has encouraged the Kirby development team to keep doing new things in the future, in both 2D and 3D. So unless Nintendo just keep on pumping out 3D spin-off games, I'm 99.9% sure that we will get another mainline 3D Kirby game." Also, it is worth noting that Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the best-selling Kirby game of all time, so it would be incredibly stupid for Nintendo to not release another mainline 3D Kirby game. So we know another 3D Kirby game is going to happen, but when will it be released? Seeing as Forgotten Land only released last year in March, so 10 months ago, and the Nintendo Switch is in its final year or so, I don't think we're going to see another 3D Kirby game on the Switch, which does make me pretty sad, but it's the truth. When Nintendo's next system releases in late 2024 or early 2025, I believe we could see a Kirby game release as the not so popular launch title, like what 1-2-Switch was with the Switch, or we could see a release 4 or so months after Nintendo's next system releases, like how Splatoon 2 released 4 months after the Switch. The Kirby series isn't popular enough to be the big launch title, but with Forgotten Land, it shows Nintendo that people do love the Kirby series, and so another 3D game could definitely be the secondary launch title, or a game that launches shortly after the system releases. So I think we're getting the next mainline 3D Kirby game in 2024 or 2025 when Nintendo's next system releases. But what will the game be? I reckon Nintendo will evolve the 3D Kirby series in the same way that the 3D Mario series progressed, when we went from Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS to Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. 3D Land on the 3DS was a good game that introduced the more level-based 3D Mario, and 3D World was basically just 3D Land, but better. So I think the next 3D Kirby game will expand on Forgotten Land in the same way that 3D World expanded on 3D Land. I'm thinking the next 3D Kirby game will have more copy abilities, more level variety, expand on the newly introduced mouthful mode, and even have online multiplayer. Even though I would love for a 3D game that's similar to Odyssey or Sunshine, I don't think that's gonna happen, as 3D Kirby has only just come into existence, and I don't think the leap from the first 3D Kirby game to the second would be that drastic and completely change up the formula that has been established in Forgotten Land. And no, we're not getting an open world Kirby game, even though that would be the coolest thing ever. It's just not happening, I'm sorry. So the next 3D Kirby game will basically just expand on Forgotten Land and be released shortly after or alongside Nintendo's next system. And the video's done. Bye.